passengers at the Port of Miami and how many COVID-19 cases we could be looking at. Now, Sam, the Coral Princess has 12 confirmed cases so far. What do we know about the other passengers, including whatever screening they might be undergoing?
Well, there's hundreds of other passengers, Joshua. Good afternoon, and thank you for having me on. For the second time in the last 3 days, we've had a cruise ship with thousands of passengers on it, finding out at the 11th hour that they would actually be able to dock here in here in South Florida. It was Fort Lauderdale earlier this week with the Rotterdam and the Zaandam, and this morning at 10:30, behind me, as you see, the Coral Princess with 1,000 people, passengers on that ship, roughly 880 or so crew members as well. You mentioned those figures. 11 people right now, at the very least, are in hospitals. 2 of them critically here in Florida, right around the corner in Miami. Another 9 going to Orlando. There's a contract between the Coral Princess and the hospital there, which is why it's not as serious of a case. They're taking a several-hour drive to Orlando. But as you mentioned, 2 people have died already, and I was speaking with a family member of 2 of the passengers whose parents are still on that ship right now. He said that they found out through intercom this afternoon that the captain came on and said, this morning, that 2 people had died and their condolences were being expressed. That was later confirmed by the parent company, Princess Cruises, that 2 people had died. Hospitalizations, as we mentioned, several hundred people waiting right now to find out what's going on in 12 confirmed coronavirus cases. We asked Paul Nam, whose father was confirmed and whose mother, he said, was exhibiting symptoms, what this has been like once he found out about the diagnosis and also the struggle for resources.
Fortunately, my parents are in good health and they were able to breathe on their own, so they weren't a priority. However, my dad hasn't eaten in 4 days. He needed an IV. They said they knew he needed it, but they couldn't attend to him because there was no room in the infirmary.
So as far as getting all of the folks who are healthy right now, you mentioned screenings, Joshua, we're not exactly sure the specifics of it, other than obviously their temperatures are being taken, they're being observed for respiratory problems. But the folks who are okay, they're going to have to wait a couple of days right now. At the very least, this is a 2 to 3 day process before you can get all of the people there onto their chartered flights, many of them foreign nationals, and to get them home. As far as the U.S. Coast Guard is concerned, this number is kind of shocking. They have already taken 250,000 cruise ship passengers because of the evolving coronavirus pandemic off of their cruise ships in the last 3 weeks. That includes the 1,000 from the Coral Princess.
And that isolation will well continue. If you're going from Port of Miami to Port Everglades, you go from the port straight to the airport, directly on the freeway. So they might be in a little bit of an odd state of isolation from now until they get back home. Thank you, Sam. That's NBC Sam Brock at the Port of Miami.